My name is Rhapsody and his name is sneakyteak, and welcome back to the Ladder Streak Season 2. Hell yeah! How's it going, bud?
New and improved. This is the much optimized Mark II version.
Ooh, okay. Have we shaved some frames off? Are we
That's right.
What are we doing?
Right.
We're doing it any percent this time, so we're just gonna load in and quit out?
Yeah, FPS uncapped, and we're actually gonna do back hops through the ladder. Completely skipping all the middle sections.
I'm not good at the back hops yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why it's a challenge, right? We're learning all new tactics here, kind of on the fly.
Also, we're playing a completely wrong character for the back hops. At least we have back flips in the silent.
That's true. That's true. Mario notably absent as a Spire climber.
I have noticed that. There's a serious lack in the modding community of someone making Mario. Is it because it's a licensed asset of a different company?
Though, actually? Because there's some pretty fascinating modded crossovers. Like I saw One Punch Man, and it's good satire. It's not fun, but that's the point.
I haven't
you gotta
seen
try
the
it.
One Punch Man one. I would like to play that though. I did just finish season 1.
Yeah, I did. I call it March Modness. I did a whole month of modded content in this game and other games. We played a ton of modded characters. There's some really solid ones. One Punch Man is like a satire character, but Hollow Knight is out there and is awesome.
Yep, Hollow Knight is the last modded character
you played
that I
it, right?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Bard is one of my favorites. It's so good. Anything Michael Mayhem makes. So the Guardian, what was his slime one? Was Slimebound.
Slimebound, yeah.
Oh, both of those as well are so well designed. I do want to dive back into
Slimebound though, it makes me want like Pokemon Slay the Spire. Like I want to summon creatures and then release them when they get very strong.
So many things have tried to do that. Like there was the Necromancer mod that tried to do that early, and then there was the
very breakable mod. Very breakable. Tin cost is very bent by Snecko Eye. It's fun.
Yeah, I think the Necromancer was unsupported just the week that I tried to play it, and then I think it got re-supported by someone else later. But there was a Yu-Gi-Oh one that was also for summoning creatures to the battlefield.
Okay.
But yeah, like a lot of people with that kind of like summoning creatures to the battlefield, getting them to fight for you kind of essence oeuvre, if you will. Oh,
I will. But what will Watcher do? I think Watcher beats up Act 1 is one thing I think.
Watcher absolutely ruins Act 1. So I'm just thinking, like, do we want to go for the 3 elite path that has no rests? Or do we want to take a responsible 2 elite path with some rests?
What are our options? This is where I start comparing my notes a lot. Nice.
I'll tell you what happened there is I probably started a speed run of the Watcher. On Ascension 1, just looking for Tantrum on floor 1. I didn't find it, I stopped.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's only appropriate that we're given the base set of Niao bonuses for the beginning of the ladder. This is like poignant in some way.
It is totally fair.
Yeah.
I mean it also does lead me a little towards this path. What with the ability to maintain it.
Yeah. And then we've got, the thing is, so, God, I need to like drag this lesson out over the entire run. But the biggest thing that I've learned over many heart runs with Watcher is that Watcher is incredibly good at blowing up every fight until the Act 3 bosses and the heart.
Yep.
And at that point, you need to have a really strong block and scaling core. And it can actually be tough to bring that together with the class. She has really good cards. They're almost all in the uncommon pool, and the uncommon pool is pretty saturated. So you have to see a lot of cards. And so I am nervous to skip too many card-looking opportunities. But it looks like if we did that, we would get 1 elite for free, maybe, and then it's nothing but fights for the rest of the way. We can go left even, potentially, and fight the empowered elite.
Ooh, you could do. My eye over here is for the 2 rests, but yeah, that's a merchant after the final one.
Well, and we have that optionality, right? If we get there and we have the cards, we just need upgrades. I like this line. I think we should do it, and it's a fun, fast start. I think we should do it.
I'm super into it. I also think the fewer card looks are a little bit buoyed by the shop early.
Oh, I think they're very, yeah, I think it's strong. Oh, okay.
I've been talking before we started this about how similar to what you just mentioned, actually, I blow up bosses as this character. I will pick the first blasphemy I see. I will blow up a boss in a single turn. I'll do that in Act 3 by cutting down the first half of the Awoken one, or cutting down Donu and then blow up the other one, right? So I die against the heart regularly as his character. That blasphemy isn't gonna do you the 4 turns worth of max damage you need, or 3 turns?
Yeah.
3 turns worth of max damage you need.
It's true.
But you know what I think might?
Pressure Points is a really solid card. It's frequently undervalued. It's also tough because really what you want, the magic number is I think to have 2 or 3 of them, to have extra energy and to have a lot of scry. And they need to be supported. What I think a lot of people get wrong is I found that if you just have pressure points doing damage in your deck and you don't have some single huge source of damage like that blasphemy, you die in hallway fights very frequently. So like pressure points' best friend is signature move. Actually, it's like my favorite combo.
Oh, I love.
But the card that catches my eye here is actually not pressure points at all. A card that I love, but it's Foreign Influence. Yeah, I think Foreign Influence is just generically really strong.
It also
gives you ways to activate crush joints because it's a skill first. It's an upgrade target. It's good.
Is there any consideration for the fact that we have a shop upcoming, so the pressure points gets like the commons in the shop could be pushing us towards it, or is it just a value pick right now?
We can try to force it. We can try to force pressure points if you want to do something new.
I'd be open. I kind of want to.
Okay, do it. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. We need to look at a lot of cards, and we'll have to build pretty precisely.
How much do you care about your max HP when you have full HP here? Because if I've taken the 5 damage, I take the lose 5 max. But
yeah,
this is like in both of these options, I'm losing 5 HP, right? So this says lose 13 additional HP, keep your max HP.
Honestly, though, like we're trying to snipe an elite. We probably can take smash here. Yeah. I would probably do it.
Here we go. It happens. It begins.
That's good.
But
can we afford that and conclude?
No.
We might have to take this conclude, Raps. We still have to beat Slime Boss, and we're not looking at a lot of cards before our Elite Gauntlet.
You're right, but I'm so mad about it.
We can do both. We can do both. We can do both. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. This is why this is hard. And I see people do this all the time where they're like, I want to make an X deck, and then they don't like add in the dumb damage to support X, and that's I see pressure points do this so much.
That is a huge mistake I consistently make. How do you feel about Battle Hymn?
I like Battle Hymn, and actually, Battle Hymn does a pretty good job giving you that damage saturation too in the early game. The problem is that what it ends up doing is it's contending for your energy with those pressure points. But I actually really like it, and if you want a single card that you can guarantee gives you some damage while you're beefing up your deck, you know, there it is. In fact, if you went Battle Hymn Conclude, if you just did both, like I'm confident that you can beat the elites and the boss in this act. And we can focus our energy on getting scry, finding ways to break energy curve, and cycling pressure points.
I'm into it. My pitch was actually going to be the Battle Hymn and the pressure points give away the conclude.
Interesting.
That doesn't need to be innate. I like the conclude upgrade, and I like the eruption upgrade for the 0 cost as well. Sorry,
conclude upgrade, and then we're done with the act, I think, basically. And this is the hard part, is figuring out when are we done, right? Oh my god, and pen nib? Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. The pressure points will need an upgrade. They really, getting 2 of them upgraded online makes a huge difference. I find. Interesting.
I mean, I would look more heavily at the Consecrate if I didn't already have the Conclude, but
yeah,
I do.
My one wonder is, do we ever take... So I love Flurry of Blows with Pen Nib. It's really, really good. I'm also constantly thinking, like, let's make sure not to water down that thing that we're trying to do, right? And it also works with Ink Bottles. Flurry of Blows is just really good. But I also like Empty Fist here as a way to potentially cycle energy. But it's too deep. This may be Skip.
Yeah, I'm on board with Skip.
Okay. It's hard to skip that Flurry. That Flurry is just genuinely very good here.
I am not a huge fan of the Flurries, but in particular, especially with the Battle Hymn, I don't really want to be stancing consistently.
Okay. Okay, I can see that.
Well, there's our energy, if we want it.
We could do that. I like that. I like two things here, actually. So, pressure points, as I said, has the problem of being very energy hungry. And so things like Halt can actually be quite nice because they're very, very cheap block, right? But we've got one Eruption in the deck right now. It's pretty small. And Collect, yeah, we can probably play around Collect here.
We will have a small consideration of the smites are being added into the hand every turn as well as the collects. So we are going to have to
we're going to choke
manage
on
it.
But yeah, that's true. Oh, and you know, the Collect also works around our ink bottle, right? Why does today feel, I don't know, maybe it's because we're coming out of season 1, but I feel we're so focused right now. Like the conversation is very tactical. It's dense.
Extremely. I mean, there's also the big element, which is I did the Heartbreaker Chronicles for a while, which I mentioned previously is the series where I would take each character and I would go through Ascension 5, Ascension 10, Ascension 15, Ascension 20, just killing the heart with them each. I didn't actually finish that with the Watcher yet. I took a small hiatus to that challenge, and I still haven't returned to it. So the Watcher hasn't finished the Ascension 20 heart. That's the only thing I haven't done in this game. And I am kind of trying to pry tips out of you about how I'm going to do that myself.
Well, perfect. I will continue to provide.
Oh, perfect.
I like the left path too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is just normal damage. Wait, how many easy camps do we have left? One. We took a normal Jaw Worm further. This is the final one then.
You can always also do the Miracle Collect on that turn since it's a pure upgrade if it's offered.
Yes. Was not thinking
weird,
about it.
Right?
Good point, well made. Yeah, I'm just going to throw out the damage. It's fine. This is just a normal fight. I don't need to think about this that much other than I want to leave the pen nib up.
No, but I love it. Yeah. When you think you have lethal as Watcher, you do. You do.
Yeah. The Watcher actually really helped my my reasoning, my mathematics skills in this game, because you calculate lethal every single turn. Even if you don't think you have it as the Watcher, you might still have it.
Yeah. Okay, there's 2 cards here that I'm excited about.
So I think we have a lot of things that generate or retain already. I'm very interested in Like Water. I find that almost every turn I end in Calm unless I'm killing.
And you'll do it more often if you're trying to cycle damage with pressure points. And you need stuff that gives you block passively. Cool.
This is a huge... I mean, obviously we have Kunai as well, but one of the huge reasons that I like Calibers with this character is because you have obviously access to so much Retain, but there's also Spirit Shield, which overblocks you so much most of the time when you play it. Retain that.
I just want to throw out that right now, trying to force the pressure point stack is definitely fighting the tide of the relics that we've been offered.
I think I think we're no longer going for that.
I'm not saying that it won't be meaningful damage. You know, it's kind of like having a couple poison cards in a silent deck. Like, it'll still matter in some fights. But we're sitting on a pen nib, a kunai, and ink bottle of calipers.
Yeah.
I want that Halt.
I'm going to let it go quietly into that good night.
Yeah. But that's okay. You know, I mean, like, a lot of... Watcher is a very relic-hungry class. And responding to the relics that are offered it's going to be value. The other thing that I think is really tough with Watcher is figuring out when to just go ahead and end your turn in Wrath. And like even take more damage, but to close the fight faster. It's taken me a long time to really get that right.
I think the fight that taught me the most about that was actually the Gremlin Knob fight, because you don't get a choice. You have to go
into Wrath and win.
Foot on the gas all the way. Right. We should have this.
Where's that Eruption? Time for killing. We can go. We even get to leave with like a nice pen nib. That's reasonable. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh no.
Passive block.
Especially with the battle hymn, no.
So I know you said that you don't really like Flurry of Blows very much, but I'm gonna make a case that Weave and Flurry of Blows are actually 2 of the strongest cards that you can take as Watcher. And
Please
of course,
do.
it depends on the run, but they have so many interactions. We've already got the kunai and the pen nib. Cycling damage tends to be very powerful. I think fasting is one of the strongest cards available to Watcher. I think talk to the hand is one of the strongest cards available to Watcher. So there's just lots of good interactions, and we already have some of them. But we don't have a lot of scry in this deck yet. I will basically take 100 third eyes if they're offered to me, though. So I think you can take this weave. I think the signature move will be hard to play around if we're consistently playing Battle Hymn, but I think the weave is quite good. Oh man, there's
all right. I think this is one of those stores where both of us need to think of a game plan and then pitch it to the other person.
Okay. Oh man. Oh god, this is tough. Okay.
I think I have mine.
Can I see the deck actually?
Sure.
Oof. Okay. Okay. Let me hear your plan, and then I don't have a single plan. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I have a couple plans, and I'll pitch them.
Okay. Well, if we get couples of plans, then I'm also adding in mine.
You can get your couple.
Then.
This is a hard store. This is a very hard store.
Okay. So my first is I want Juzu and I want the third eye. I think it's early enough to benefit a ridiculous amount from Juzu. I think especially getting next floor the Jax event and having the ability to play Jax out is a huge thing that we would love to get. We don't have any 2 costs in this deck yet, but obviously Necronomicon and Enchiridion are both really good, and Nilri's Codex as well. I think there are a lot of really good events that we could take advantage of next floor. I think also the Colosseum event is also something that we would be able to aim for if we leave ourselves on good, responsible pen nib triggers at the end of each of our fights.
And we have Golden Idol too.
We do. Yeah. And then the
I
second pitch is just lessons learned and then leave.
Oh god, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep cutting you off there. My bad. I was so excited to hear you pitch Juzu because I never buy this outside of speedruns.
Oh, I love it.
Like almost never in an Ascension 20 heart run do I buy Juzu bracelet, but you make really good points. Like this is a class that will benefit from so many different events that are coming up, right? And it's nice to be able to path and know that you can take 3 question marks and they're going to be like events. But one of my plans is the same as your second, which is that Lesson Learned is one of the strongest cards in the game. Anything that gives you meta scaling, genetic algorithm, feed, Hand of Greed, Ritual Dagger, like these cards are strong. Reaper, yeah. And Lesson Learned, this class really, really benefits from. But here's a counter from me that I think is going to be hard to pass up. I think that one of the most critically underpicked cards in the game for most classes, but particularly I find Ironclad and Watcher, is Panic Button.
I so didn't think you were going to say that I was like, how are you going to sell me on this sadistic nature? Like
no,
a bunch of...
It's not that one. Sadistic nature with like Wave of the Hand can actually be neat, but it doesn't get past neat. And Panic Button, we're sitting on calipers already, right? It's just so much dense block for free. And frequently, when it does overblock, we can carry things forward. It's the kind of thing that lets us take a super, super aggressive path in the future, and we won't regret it against the heart. I can guarantee. Like, you just don't regret this card. And 2 turns is not actually that long, because you make it the last card that you play on the turn you play it, and then the next turn you don't get block from cards. But Talk to the Hand still triggers. The Captain's Wheel still triggers. Like, other sources of block which are not cards that say block on them still trigger. So I think this Panic Button's really strong, and it would leave you with the money to buy, say, Third Eye and or a potion or removal. And Mental Fortress is a really strong potential block core too, although it's a little early and unupgraded. But yeah, Lesson Learned is really strong, and genuinely, the path which I think is most consistently successful is to just take the Lesson Learned and play it. But then you have to play around that. It's tricky.
How often are we going to be able to use it as our finisher? Is there anything modifying whether or not we would be able to do that? We've got easy setup consistently with the smites.
Yeah, which can actually help a lot. We're not blocking very well, which can be a detractor to cards like that. Meta-scaling cards want your deck. Well, like Water, we're blocking okay, and we get better as it procs. The more we play it, the better we get it block. So, yeah, it's so strong. It's so strong. Yeah. It's too bad. I think if it weren't there, I'm buying the panic button, and I'm super stoked on it actually.
I really would have been interested to see the panic button there as
Yeah.
well, but I think there's a duty to take the lessons learned.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, if we're thinking it's fighting against the tide, do we care about pressure points beyond occasionally 8 damage, possibly 16 artifact removal? Do we care about upgrading it?
Well, I mean, lesson learned is going to upgrade it eventually. And I can totally see an end game to where we get closer to the heart. We've got this good like cycling attacks and blocking line, and we see an upgraded pressure points, and we take 1 or 2 of them, and then that's genuine damage contribution, right? But yeah, I don't think we like need to upgrade it right now. I would probably be upgrading lesson learned to increase the chance that we can use it to kill off one of the slimes.
Sure. Very much into it.
It begins.
Okay, do you go for it?
How aggro are you? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We've got vigilance coming up. We've got 3 turns. Like, yeah. I'm all about. Oh,
Well, there's the vigilance.
that's a. I forgot about traitor bottle, as we call it.
I can't believe
Yeah.
you did that to me, Bottle.
Traitor bottle, always doing weird stuff.
Okay, so what? This is 24 damage next turn, 24 damage the turn after. We can definitely get to the split.
Yeah.
Conclude also means that after the split, if this comes up, we have the ability to split the split. Or
Yeah, we're
kill.
gonna be gold. Worst case, we've got flex potion to finish it off. We can always, yeah, we're fine. It just means that we might not be lesson learned depending on how it goes.
I am a little concerned about that.
Definitely would not
Yeah.
split this turn. That's the only thing I know.
Hold off with the split and get the kunai charge.
Nice. Werf.
And then I end my turn, right?
Yeah, that's the way to play. Okay, fun fact. My first like above 10 ladder got to Watcher. I want to say it was Watcher Ascension 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going so well that I got to this point to where I was like, huh, I might also, should we intern here and like try to find lesson learned? We can
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
I'm giving myself the ability to defend this turn with the calipers
Nice.
as well as hold out, just waiting.
Nice. We're in a good position here. Anyway, the TLDR is basically I was in the position where I was like, okay, I could win this turn, but I see the opportunity to omniscience omegas and do like hundreds of damage. But I forgot that I had already played Blasphemy. And so I ended my turn. And that's how I lost the ladder at Ascension 11.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
It is.
As I was learning the character, I did a stream week of the Watcher, and in one of those, and it's I think still my most watched clip, is I had Blasphemy and I had some damage that was going to trip. Oh, it was the old vault. It was the old vault that did 15 damage to all enemies after.
Oh yeah.
But it was only targeting a
forgot
single
about that.
target and made you intangible. But I had that and I had Blasphemy on the same turn. And I ended my turn and the enemy didn't immediately die. And I forgot that Vault is 15 damage at the start of the next turn. So I was like, oh, wait, who dies first? And then
Yeah.
rip.
Who did die first?
Me. Extremely me.
Oh no.
It's the worst.
That's funny. That's funny. The
So
rage.
there are a couple questions I want to ask here. The first is,
Yeah.
when do you ever pick Conjure Blade?
We actually have one of those conditions right now. Whenever you have some generation of miracles, I think Conjure Blade's much easier to take because Conjure Blade really rewards burst energy, and it also frequently rewards the ability to play it and then maybe hold energy and do something afterwards. Expungur's just a really strong card. If you have Master Reality, Expunger goes from like a 9x to a 15x, which is a crazy upgrade. I really like this card as a single giant source of damage. It plays well with Talk to the Hand. I think the card's good. I think you can probably take it more often than you have.
Which is, I took it twice, I think. Totally.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. But it's a hard competition with Vault, and even Establishment here is kind of cool with the Battle Hymn.
I like the Establishment with the Battle Hymn because also, like, I'm looking at this deck and I'm like, I will take the first Protect I see. And Establishment is like, if you take the first Protect you see, I will help you.
Right. I dig Establishment, and I think this card used to be uncommon. And so in the same way that I'm even more excited about Corruption now that it's rare, same thing with that. Oh, dude.
Are we now a stance deck? Do we have to?
Can we be? Because I love Violet Lotus. I actually like this Astrolabe a lot. And with Establishment doing energy manipulation and collect, you could totally take Astrolabe and like blow up a defend in 2 strikes, and that would be genuinely really good.
I'm not away from the Astrolabe. I mean, both of us agree that it's too early to take the Busted Crown.
Let's not do that. Yeah. I think that incredibly increases our chance to lose to the heart. Yeah. Let's not go there, Simba.
It is a silly place.
Well, the streams are crossed.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going for 2 different references on the same basis. I like the Violet Lotus a lot. Back when again, watch a stream week, I would just take Violet Lotus and I would break repeatedly. Although did it have different stuff at the time? Did it have different amounts? I can't remember. But I've had a lot of good fun dancing with Violet Lotus. But I don't see in this deck much potential yet to go for a stance build. And I am very much want to, as much as I am trying to work out of it, the kind of player that will look at what I have currently and completely ignore what I might be about to get a lot of the time.
I mean, it drives your drafts for sure, right? Like, we know that we take Tantrum really highly. I think Simmering Fury is like a really, really solid card. We take Flurry of Blows more highly, and that is something we already want to do because it plays into our kunai. We love Talk to the Hand, but we already like that. Inner Peace is great. Meditate is great. Like, those are cards we already probably want to take. But, you know, Astrolabe might just give us those cards.
It could do.
And we've got Energy Manipulation.
Plus, it's some good removal.
Let's Astrolabe. It's fun, too. What do you got? Heart of the Cards.
I'm into it. Oh, Foresight! Can I give this one back and get the vault?
Hey, you know what we might find? We might find Fire Spirits, and then it's plus 10 max HP. So we've got a mini Mango in our deck.
Fingers crossed. If only we had a Juzu bracelet to make that more likely.
I guess. I just like mango. It's my favorite fruit, so I kind of ignore the other ones.
I'm not a mango man.
What?
Yeah, no. I live in Australia. We have mango season. The mangoes they flow free and plenty, and all of my friends go mad for it seasonally. Not my thing, even slightly.
I regret to announce that this is the last YouTube video that I will be collaborating on with Rhapsody.
That is totally fair. The ladder streak has been ended, not by the heart, but this time by My Bad Food Opinions. I think that's my 3rd collaborative series with My Bad Food Opinions being the end.
It's been good. It's not you, it's me.
I like mango and you don't. It's me, you see?
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, we will catch you in the next video, linked in the description down below, for the rest of the Act 2, or start of Act 2, and the end of Act 2, but not Act 3. Catch you then.